Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Nassau Community College student, Matt Leonard, coming to you live once again via Zoom and being socially distant as recommended.
Today we're going to learn about AHRC Nassau, a non-profit organization that ensures people with intellectual and developmental disabilities lead self-directed lives.
Let's learn more by welcoming to the show Shaun Weathers, their Senior Director of Programs and Services, along with Carmela Azzarelli, their recruiter. Shaun and Carmela, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you for having us, Bill.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're going to give us a lot of great information, but first let me ask you, how are both of you making out during this period of COVID-19 pandemic? Has the virus affected you personally?
Actually, I've been fortunate. It hasn't affected me personally, or my family, or anybody that I know. So I'm very grateful about that. I have gotten tested several times, but thank God they've all been negative. So
perfectly immune. You're the one we want to hang around with. Then you're the right one to talk
to.
Absolutely. Shaun, how about you?
Yeah, I would say the same. I've been fortunate enough not to personally, have any experience with it. Of course, working in this field, we support a lot of people. So, I've had experience with the virus, but luckily my family has been well.
Again, 2 winners. That's great. We're off to a good start. Matt?
So, Shaun, tell me about AHRC Nassau and what programs and services you guys offer.
Yeah, AHRC Nassau is a nonprofit organization with a family of organizations supporting thousands of children and adults all throughout Long Island to live rich and fulfilled lives. We have programs that support people with IDD all throughout preschool, to housing and residential opportunities, to day programs, to competitive employment, all the way through to their retirement. So we have a lot of different programs and support.
Now that's amazing, because I'm sure that's not easy. It's tough enough for teachers to do, etc. But you're working with people with disabilities. Am I correct?
That's correct.
And now, what have you had to do in light of the pandemic? There must be a lot of changes that have to take place.
Yeah, just like anyone else, we have to, really truly change the way we think about and do things. When you're working with someone who may not necessarily understand what a pandemic is or what socially distance means, you have to really take that step to, support them through those changes as well. So that's really been our focus, is keeping people safe and well, and getting them to truly understand what it means to, be socially distanced, follow hygiene to, protect yourself and others.
Now, have you been able to have people live at your facility, or is this all by remote learning now?
Oh, yes. No, we support, like I said, we support thousands of people all throughout Long Island. So, many of those folks live with us in our residential program. So we have staff who are there 24/7 supporting them, in their homes or in their day programs.
So that must be a tremendous challenge, though, in light of this pandemic, because, as you say, they're spread out, I guess. Did I hear that correctly?
Correct. All throughout Long Island.
So it would be easy, if you have one central facility, just not easy, but you could clean things off or do what most stores are doing, or sanitize, or, do their best to keep the virus away. But now you have to protect different locations, if that's the way I'm understanding it.
Correct.
And how are you doing that?
Truly it's by the dedicated teams and staff that we have. We have a great organization. And I think it's so great because of the people that, we have that work with us. They're truly dedicated to the support, the folks that we serve. And so, a lot of them are risking their own health, really, truly just going out day to day, making sure that they are supporting these folks through this challenging pandemic.
And that really is hats off to them and to your staff and to yourself, because most of us are afraid walking into a store, or some of us at least, and they're going in now. And of course, the more touches, the more opportunities. Even medical facilities today don't want you to come in until it's just your time, et cetera, et cetera.
What would you say is a misconception people have about working in the disability field?
I truly say, at least for me, since I do work in the programs, is that, people really truly believe that someone with intellectual developmental disability needs to be sheltered. They're not contributing members of society. And that's truly so wrong. That's a stigma, that's not really wrong, correct at all. Working in this field, you're supporting someone to, have an enriched life, realize their own dreams, realize, how they can contribute to their local community, and that's what truly, working in this field is about. You're not babysitting or anything. You're supporting a person to, fulfill their dreams.
Carmela, I'm going to actually throw the same question to you. I know Shaun answered, but you may see it from a different angle as a recruiter. Would you say the same things, or are there different aspects that you see when people come in?
No, I certainly agree with what Shaun is saying, too. I think another misconception is that people feel that they can't do the job because they don't have the experience. And experience is not required for the position. Sometimes it's more helpful that certain people don't have the experience because they come in fresh and new and they want to learn. And they might not have any preconceived learning or prior learning techniques, maybe from a previous organization or agency that they've worked for. So while both work, experience is not necessary for the position. So, when I do speak to some applicants, and interview them, a lot of times they'll say, oh, but I don't have experience in the fields. And I'll say, that's perfectly fine. I look for much more than experience. I look for compassion, motivation, enthusiasm, and people that are looking to affect change in somebody's life. That to me means more than that experience. Not that experience doesn't help, but you don't have to have it to enter this field.
That's a great sign for all of us, because I think sometimes we feel, gee, I really like this so much, or I'm so interested in something, but I don't have the background. So it's good you've opened the door. At least they can come in and find out. Maybe it's not for them, maybe it's not for you, but there's an opportunity there, and we should never knock ourselves out of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Matt?
I just want to remind our audience, you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Matt Leonard, along with Bill Horan, and we're learning about AHRC Nassau today, a nonprofit organization that ensures people with intellectual and developmental disabilities lead self-directed lives, with our guests, Shaun Weathers, Senior Director of Programs and Services, and Carmela Azzarelli, their recruiter. And my next question would be for you, Shaun. What drives your passion and continued commitment to AHRC Nassau?
Well, I would say for me, what drives me the most is how invested, and committed our leadership is in this organization. We value our most important asset, which is our staff. And I'm sure Carmela will talk a little bit about, when she goes about, the recruitment aspects, the tremendous benefits that we offer in this organization. But I could say for myself personally, I've had exceptional opportunities to grow, in my professional field with this organization. Even right now, I'm, working on obtaining my master's degree, fully funded by the organization. So AHRC Nassau really, invest in, I say its most valuable asset, which is the staff.
Let our audience know, how long have you been with AHRC Nassau? And tell us some about your past experiences there, what you've been learning, and maybe in a positive, and sometimes we learn through the negatives.
Yeah, well, I've been here almost 20 years now. Interestingly enough, I've worked in almost every program we've offered. I started out as a direct support professional, on a part-time basis, as a referral from a friend of mine who worked in the field. I knew nothing about this field. I was in my undergrad, and I was studying to be a pre-med. I was going on a medical professional track, and I truly became inspired by the work that I was doing, enriching people's lives, that I decided to make it a career. And so that's my story, and I don't know if that would be everyone else's story, but what I can say is that truly when you are working to enrich someone's life, you're going to be positively impacted, by the work that you're doing, because it's feel good work. And so my experiences here, just in the long lasting relationships that I've built with the people that I'm supporting, has truly been positive. Obviously there's tough times, especially now, through the challenges we face with, the pandemic, governmental regulations and funding cuts that make things tougher on us to, create and build programs. But honestly, we always find a way. And, it's really about the people we support.
I like what you're saying, because so many of us go for a field and we forget the changes and the effect we can have on others around us, whether it's coworkers, the people you're working with, all of the students there, etc. We would probably think in the medical field you could make more changes, but I bet you're doing more than most doctors on a day-to-day basis. And maybe it's not expressed by the patients and the clients you're dealing with, but you're certainly helping their lives move along and in a very positive direction.
Yes, absolutely.
And of course, Carmela, also, we're not leaving her out. Your entire staff, everybody.
Okay. My next question could be to either of you. What positions are you looking to fill at this time, and what would be of interest to our students and their career goals?
So we are primarily looking for direct support professional positions, and those are entry-level positions, which are great for students because we have so many different possibilities and schedules available. As I mentioned before, no experience is required. The minimum requirements are a New York State driver's license and a high school diploma or its equivalent. So we have different programs and companies because AHRC is like an umbrella agency. We have, I think it's 5 different companies underneath us. Is that correct, Shaun?
Yes, we have 5 total organizations.
So direct support professionals are really the lifeblood of this agency. And I was a DSP years ago, back in the dinosaur era, so I am completely familiar with the position and what's involved. It is an extremely important position. They are the foundation of our agency, direct support professionals. So what they basically do is work in either our group homes. We have adult group homes. We have a children's residential program, or our day care program, which is our full-time Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 3:30. Our residential program is working in our group homes, and we have full-time and part-time schedules, and some sub-positions. So the part-time schedules could be evenings. So if a student goes to school during the day, they can work evenings, maybe a couple of days a week, or weekends. We have some weekend-only positions. Maybe they're daytime shifts from 8 to 4, 7 to 3, or in the evening from 3 to 11, 4 to 12. We do offer some overnight as well. So there are a lot of options for students. We also have community rehabilitation professional positions, which just include maybe one weekend evening shift a week and one maybe shift during the weekend. So the flexibility is there for students. Also, if students do need to work full time, there are full-time positions in our day hab. As I mentioned, Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 3:30. In our residential program, those are evening positions that are full-time. And they offer a lot of possibilities. And it's a great segue into the healthcare field. So it's perfect for students who are looking to become anything from doctors to nurses to, healthcare administrators, anything in between. I also have to plug in, I recruit for our schools, our Brookville Center for Children's Services schools. We have TA positions. Those are teacher aide positions. We do have a need for them. Those are full-time day positions. And that is excellent for a student looking to go into the special ed field, in the educational aspect. So the possibilities that we have and the opportunities are amazing. For lack of a better word, are enormous and very varied.
If we weren't, I'm sorry to interrupt. If we hadn't talked to you now, how would we know about this? How do you recruit? Do you have open sessions? Do you just put ads at the local schools, internet, etc.? How would someone find out about your organization and the opportunities that are available?
There are a variety of ways to learn about us through social media. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We do a lot of advertising through Indeed. That's probably our largest job board. We advertise through Handshake, which taps into the colleges, local colleges. We used to do on-site, obviously, college fairs in the spring and in the fall, and we would do probably up to 8 or 10 college fairs a year. Now we're starting to do virtual ones. We just had one at Hofstra. I believe we had one at Stony Brook too as well. Word of mouth is one of our, biggest referral sources too as well. We have employees who are in love with our agency, love what they do, and spread the word to their friends too as well.
Is there any?
A lot of sites, but I'm sorry.
That's okay. Is there any past goals? In other words, let's say, would you say, gee, teachers make wonderful applicants for this position, or looking forward, is this a great stair step if you're looking for medical, nursing, etc., or law or teaching?
Teaching, definitely. Nursing, definitely. Law, you know what? I had and have had a lot of applicants who are looking in a field that's totally different to what we do, whether it's finance, accounting, possibly law. And they want to gain a knowledge of different populations. So this is actually a great way for people to learn about an entirely different population of people. Learn about, I have psychology students as well, which is a very big area of education or college students. And even with law, they want to learn about different populations. They want to see what makes people tick and learn how to be able to, form relationships.
I just want to remind our audience one more time, you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Matt Leonard alongside Bill Horan, and today we're learning about AHRC Nassau, a nonprofit organization that ensures people with intellectual and developmental disabilities lead self-directed lives, with our guests, Shaun Weathers, their Senior Director of Programs and Services, and Carmela Azzarelli, their recruiter. Does a student need, well, you already answered this pretty much, but does a student need experience to work in the field to work for AHRC as a direct support professional? Could you speak a little more to that, I guess?
I share from my perspective, because I was a college student, looking to start out as a direct support professional. And I have to be honest, you don't need to be a trained therapist or a trained physician or truly have any training in any other field. In fact, you get so much on-the-job training working in this field for those real-world experiences, that will help along in those tracks. Truly, all you really need, like Carmela said, is a driver's license and the ability to have a heart. And so that's what the experience is that we have, here at AHRC Nassau. I don't know if you want to expand upon that, Carmela.
When I do, yes, thank you, Shaun. When I do interviews with people too, I always think about, and I tell them, who would I want if I had one of my family members living in one of our residences or in our day care program or one of the students in the school? Who would I want to work with them? So I always keep that in the back of my mind, and that lends into being the same thing we've spoken about. I want somebody with patience and understanding and ability to learn and open to follow direction. And when they, don't know the answer to a question, to be able to ask a question of their supervisor or their manager. So somebody who's willing to learn and learn more, because, every moment we say, right, Shaun, is a teachable moment. And at every moment we can learn. And I think we learn more from them than they learn from us. It's really quite an amazing experience. And Shaun,
let me ask you now. On Long Island, if someone is hearing this and, of course, they're interested where they're living, Where are your locations that these people would be working, and where are you located on Long Island?
Well, as I mentioned, we have, a number of locations on Long Island. So we're from the western end of Nassau all the way out into Suffolk County, through the 5 organizations that we have under the AHRC umbrella. So, our homes are truly in the community. So, they're not labeled or anything. It's just a house, that, is in a community. So, it'll be a house in Valley Stream or a house in Hempstead or Uniondale. And our day programs are typically storefronts, that are, in the communities as well. So, we're truly this, I want to say we have about 32 site locations for AHRC Nassau day programs. We have well over 90 site locations, all throughout Nassau County for our residential programs in, AHRC, and additional, residential locations with our other sister organization out in Suffolk.
So finding something nearby shouldn't be a problem.
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's fair enough. Sure. Matt?
On a bit of a personal note, I have a family member with a developmental disability, so I am definitely very interested to hear what additional benefits, besides what you guys mentioned already, do you guys offer?
We have so many. Do we have 2 hours to talk over here?
I wish we did. I'd love to hear all this.
Number one, and for our students, is our tuition reimbursement program, which I can't say enough about. And Shaun is personally familiar with that. We reimburse the rate for 6 SUNY or CUNY credits per semester, and that includes fall, spring, and total of all summer semesters too as well. So anything that's related to a degree that's related to what we do reimburse. I think you have to be an employee full time for 6 months, and I think you have to maintain, a C average or B for passing all courses. And you have to submit paperwork, just like everything else. You have to submit paperwork on a timely matter. So that is a great benefit for students. And that, can't be stressed enough. We also have like a Reaching Up program for our community colleges, Nassau Community College and Suffolk Community College too as well, where you accumulate credits. I think the first semester is non-credit bearing, but after that you accrue credits towards an associate's degree. It's like a DSP kind of program. So that's our tuition reimbursement program. Our other benefits are very comprehensive. We have very low-cost, high-quality insurance plans, medical and dental offered through Cigna. We have a vision service plan, an eye plan, where you get a free eye exam and yearly glasses. Which is great because you have this vision truck that shows up to our different hub sites, and our main hub sites are Brookville, Plainview, and Freeport. And they do vision checks right there on the spot. And you get to pick up glasses and so forth. So that's a little fun. We have a time off for benefits for wellness and wellness checkups. We have a wellness employee plan. So if you do good things like go to your doctor every year, take part of a gym membership reimbursement, so on and so forth, you accrue points. And that can contribute to a little reward at the end of the year. We have PTO, generous PTO program, childcare options, retirement benefits, retirement savings plans, 403B, a profit sharing plan, life insurance. It goes on and on and on and on and on. There's so much more. A first-time home buyer assistance, and
I see why you're the recruiter, because there's some great opportunities there, and I think these are things that many college students are looking at because of the society we live in, the benefits, etc. And they can mount up. Some of them are big in themselves, but the eyeglasses, etc., that can become costly. Let me ask both of you: what advice would you offer to a college student who is interested in working with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities? A guideline that you might offer to one of your relatives or someone in your family, actually. And I'd like both of you to answer.
So what I think is, don't let any preconceived notions of this field stop you. It is a wonderful and life-changing experience for those who want to help other people and have that desire to help and to grow themselves at the same time, to learn new possibilities in learning about people's behaviors. And we offer full paid agency trainings to assist with this, because part of the job is administering medication. So you do learn the medical aspect of it, which helps you in your own personal life. We have a SKIP, which is behavioral training. These are all free trainings offered on company time, and it teaches you about behaviors. So you can use that in your own personal life, how to relax people, how to, when you see behavior starting to escalate, how to work with them. And also defensive driving, which is also good in your personal life. So there are everything. There are many aspects of this job that help people enrich their own personal lives, and the growth and learning about other people and contributing to the independence and health and safety and welfare of somebody else is immeasurable.
Shaun, is there anything Carmela left out? I think, free breakfast, that's the only thing.
I think she kind of covered it, right?
This morning. I had my coffee, so.
I think she really covered it. I mean, from my perspective, it's the same thing. You leave those preconceived notions at the door, and you get prepared for a truly enriching experience. You may call it a career like I did, or you may just call it a work home while you're studying for a career in a different path, which, truly is important. What I can say is no matter what your decision is, you're definitely going to be positively impacted by, the people you meet, the relationships you build, and the work you do for the people that we support.
Please tell us how we can get in touch with you for more information about AHRC Nassau and the wonderful work all you guys are doing over there.
Well, anyone could apply to our website, which is www.ahrc.org/careers. And that'll take you to the positions that are available. You'll have to set up an account and then apply to whatever position you are interested in. On the bottom of the page are links to our other companies, our Brookville Center for Children's Services, which are our schools, and our children's residential program. We have our Citizens Company, which is probably our youngest company, right, Shaun? And,
correct.
Yes, and they do a lot of growth and expansion and have been. And we have our AHRC Foundation. We have our Camp Loyaltown, which is a summer camp up in Hunter Mountain. So we always need counselors and nurses for that. So there are links for those companies down on the bottom of the page. Or you can call our Plainview offices, which is where our recruitment department is located, and that's 516-293-1111, and ask for a recruiter in the recruitment department.
Carmela and Shaun, thank you so much. We want our audience to know we've been speaking with Shaun Weathers, the Senior Director of Programs and Services, and Carmela Azzarelli, the recruiter from AHRC Nassau. Shaun and Carmela, good luck to you and your organization, and congratulations on all the success and great work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Bill and Matt.
I'd like our audience to know that I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Matt Leonard. We thank you for listening to this week's special edition of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to whpc@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.